Hi students, welcome to plus one computer class. So we are discussing about types of network and what is meant by network, the advantages of network. So in the previous video we discussed about the various guided medium, that means some of the cables that we discussed. So we started with twisted pair cable. Twisted pair cable we can classify it into two categories, STP and UTP. STP stands for shielded twisted pair and UTP stands for unshielded twisted pair. Then after that, coaxial cable. Coaxial cable is an important cable but it's expensive. It is more expensive than twisted pair cable. And the last cable was optical fiber cable. Optical fiber cable uses light to transmit data. So that's why it's very fast. So we discussed about the various guided medium. Then in this video we are going to discuss the other term in communication medium, that is unguided medium and also known as wireless transmission medium. So first we will discuss about radio waves, how we are using radio wave for transferring data. Then after that we will discuss about infrared wave. Then wireless communication devices that using radio waves like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, and one more is that is called satellite link. Okay, so all the wireless data communication devices we are going to discuss in this section. Clear? So what is our topic? Unguided medium. Unguided medium. Here, unguided medium means there is no boundary. If we are using wires for transferring data, there will be a cloth. That means the transmitting path is enclosed by insulator. So in between that we can send data and information. But in wireless medium, guided medium is also known as wireless transmission. Okay, in wireless transmission, what will happen is this, in wireless transmission, there will be no special boundary limit. We are using the communication medium should be air. So through air, we can transfer signals. So in any direction, the signals can move. Left to right in any of the direction. There will be no fixed direction when we are using wireless transmission medium. Then we are using different kinds of waves according to the frequency level. So you know nowadays we are using different kinds of mobile services. So each mobile services has their own frequency level. Frequency level means only to that frequency level we can access that kind of services. You know, in all the service provider, mobile, laptop, mobile transmission, then nowadays we are using antenna for set-top box for cable connection. All these kind of connection using same communication medium called air. Through air we are communicating. So in air they are dividing that into different frequency levels. So according to the frequency level they are giving the services. So when you ring or when you dial the number or a particular service number, we are getting that particular service. So using that particular frequency level, that's why there will be no intermixing of calls. So only that particular service provider is providing the services. So according to the frequency level, all this kind of telephone communication is using the services. Then unguided medium is using different types of waves. The first wave is radio waves. The first service is radio waves. Then second one is microwaves. Then third one is infrared. Okay, so these are the three types of data communication devices that we are using in guided medium. So the first one is radio waves. Radio waves are work based on the frequency level. This is a commonly used unguided medium, radio wave. Then its frequency level is 3 kilohertz. To specify the speed, you want to specify the speed. Okay, the measurement unit is hertz. So in radio waves, radio waves have the frequency level from 3 kilohertz to 3 gigahertz. Okay, what will be the frequency? 3 kilohertz to 3 gigahertz. Okay, 3 kilohertz to 3 gigahertz. So that is a frequency level of radio waves. So normally in some of the this is a most commonly used application. You know, in Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, in all that we are using radio waves for transferring data. Then there is one speciality for radio waves. This we can use both indoor and also outdoor communication. Radio waves we can use for indoor and also outdoor. That means we can use Bluetooth and also we can use Wi-Fi and also WiMAX. In all this they were using radio waves. Then codeless phone, radio, FM radio, for all this they are using radio waves. In radio waves they are maintaining a frequency level spectrum. Frequency level spectrum means each frequency level is assigned to that particular service. Okay, according to that service they can utilize that particular information or that service. Okay, all these belonging to microwave category. Then there are different types of categories are present for radio wave. This is the most suitable method for data transmission, unguided data transmission. The first advantage is that means radio waves transmitted in all direction. Okay, there will be no restriction about the direction. Okay, clockwise, anti-clockwise, any direction the signals can transfer. That will be the first advantage. Second advantage is relatively inexpensive than wired medium. Okay, actually it is the main advantage, relatively less expensive than wired medium. If so many twists and turns will be there, then we can't use coaxial cable and also optical fiber cable. These kind of cables we can't easily bend. So at that case we can use radio waves for transmitting data. So this is the second advantage, relatively inexpensive than wire transmission media. Third advantage is can penetrate through walls, because radio waves has penetrating power. If a solid object is placed between the sender and the receiver, the signal will penetrate through that solid object. So it has penetrating power. Then line of sight is not required. That means both the sender and receiver should be placed in one direction. That is not required for radio waves. So line of sight is not required. Then third one, transmission can be affected by motors and other electrical equipment. We can place motors and other electrical equipment for data transfer. Then less secure mode of transmission. That means if we are using radio waves, there is a chance for hacking. So that's why it is less secure. So anyone can steal information using hacking procedure. Then last one, for setting radio wave transmission, it requires permission from the authorities for the license. Okay, only with valid license we can provide a radio wave communication device. So these are the advantages and also the disadvantages of radio waves. Then the second term that we are using in unguided medium is microwave. Microwave normally we are using in hilly areas. That means its height is big than the normal size. So normally we are using microwaves in hilly areas. But there will be some disadvantages present. In microwave you want to place antenna in face-to-face manner. Okay, face to face. Both the antennas should be placed in face-to-face manner. Then only the data transmission will take place. You know, if we are placing the antennas on hilly area, there will be no obstacles between the sender and receiver, because its height is very big. There will be less chance for obstacle between the sender and receiver. So in microwave we are using line of sight data transmission. In case if any kinds of environmental issue is affecting the antenna, that means the direction of antenna is changing, then there will be no data transmission. If any mistake in the direction, we can't transfer microwave signal through that transmission method, because line of sight is must and microwaves have no penetrating power. If any solid object is kept between two microwaves antenna, then the data signal or the data transmission will not be take place because it has less penetrating power. Then normally this we are using in hilly area, so that's why commercially it's not a successful transmission method. Okay, so that is microwave. Microwave frequency, it is 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. Then I already mentioned that we are using in hilly areas, as the travel of sight between the lines used for transmitting and receiving messages have to be aligned with each other. The distance between two microwave towers depend on many factors, including the frequency level. Then next one, it is relatively inexpensive than wired media. Comparing, or if you are establishing a wired media transmission in a hilly area, that will be very expensive. Okay, because the length of the cable will be very high, so we can't establish a wired connection, and the environmental issue also will affect these kinds of communication devices. So relatively inexpensive than wired media. Then offers ease of communication over difficult time. That means weather will not affect the data communication. Then the transmission is a straight line. That means face to face identification and line of sight. Therefore, the transmitting and receiving antennas need to be perfectly aligned. So, if any change in the direction, then line of sight is missing, then there will be no data transmission. Okay. So, that is microwave. Normally, microwaves are using in hilly areas for data transmission. Then after that, infrared waves. Okay, what is it? Infrared waves. Infrared waves means actually it is not line of sight transmission. Then this also, infrared also line of sight data transmission. Line of sight data transmission means the sender and receiver should be placed in same direction. Then infrared has a frequency level from 300 gigahertz to 300 tetrahertz. These waves are used for short range of communication, not for long range of communication. Infrared are used for short range of communication. Then in a variety of wireless, that means nowadays we are using a remote control for controlling all the home appliances. Okay, we can use remote for controlling AC, then for TV, for all this we can use remote control. So this remote control is working based on infrared waves. So that's why short distance communication we can use infrared waves. Home entertainment remote control devices, codeless mouse and interaction detectors are some of the devices that uses radio waves, because it uses for short distance data communication. So the short distance data communication devices that we are using in home, that means remote control that we are using for home appliances. Then the line of sight mission, hence information passed to one device is not leaked because very short distance. Then only two devices can communicate at one time. Only two devices can communicate at one time, and the waves cannot cross solid object. Okay, this is also an disadvantage of infrared. If a solid object is placed between the sender and receiver, it can't penetrate. That means cannot cross solid object. You may stand between the remote control and your television set, check whether the remote control is working or not. Actually, it's a real life example that you can make use of. Then the longer distance, the weaker performance. Okay, if the distance is increasing, then automatically it will reduce the performance ratio. Okay, so that is the speciality of infrared. So infrared used for short distance communication, microwave used in hilly areas. So these two we are not using normally. Okay, infrared we can use in homes. So suppose you want to transfer data in for business purpose or to commercially successful, you want to use radio waves. Okay, then next we are going to discuss some of the devices. Data communication or wireless communication technologies using radio waves. Then the first method or the first machine or the first communication that you already know, Bluetooth. Okay, what is it? Bluetooth. Here, Bluetooth means nowadays we are using Bluetooth for connecting headphones, and also we can send files from our mobile phone to laptop using Bluetooth. Okay, actually it is very less expensive. We can easily connect any of the devices and we can transfer data to that particular device. So Bluetooth connectivity, that means at a time we can only connect 8 devices for Bluetooth network. That means we can create a personal area network using Bluetooth. So the disadvantages, we can connect cell phone, laptops and different devices using Bluetooth. Then line of sight. In Bluetooth, line of sight is not required. Is it required? No. We can connect in any of the direction, but if you are increasing the distance, automatically it will reduce the performance. Data transmission rate also will reduce. Then second aspect is, at a time we can connect 8 devices. Okay, more than 8 it will not work. Then slow data transfer, that means 1 Mbps, 1 megabits per second. So slow data transmission rate for Bluetooth. Then suppose you want to use faster data access, instead of Bluetooth you want to use Wi-Fi. Okay, what you want to use? Wi-Fi. What is the full form of Wi-Fi? Wireless fidelity. Wireless fidelity. So using Wi-Fi, you know, when we are installing or when we are suppose you want to suppose you need a fast internet connection, so instead of your mobile phone we can buy a Wi-Fi, and also we can take any of the service providers to provide internet through Wi-Fi. The speciality of Wi-Fi is so many machines can share, so through a Wi-Fi machine we can distribute internet to different computers or different devices. That is the speciality of Wi-Fi. Then in Wi-Fi, is there any line of sight is required? No, line of sight is not required. In any direction data can transfer. Second one, in Bluetooth 1 Mbps, 1 megabits per second, but in Wi-Fi 54 Mbps, data transfer rate is 54 Mbps. So comparing to Bluetooth, it is faster. And also we can use Wi-Fi for number of devices simultaneously. Bluetooth can connect 8 devices at a time, but Wi-Fi, any number of devices we can connect. Then the distance, it's 375 feet. We can make use of Wi-Fi up to 375 feet. So it's not used for short distance communication. For long distance communication also we can use Wi-Fi. Then one more is WiMAX. WiMAX means a particular area we can connect. It's not feet. We are not measuring it through feet. In Wi-Fi, the main station will be provided in any of the place. Then from that WiMAX sender station, in Wi-Fi we are connecting with the computers, but WiMAX we are not connecting with the computer. We can connect to different offices and also different schools or whatever it is we can connect. So WiMAX sender station is, its data transfer rate should be very high, maximum number of or maximum level of data transfer, that is known as WiMAX. That means hundreds of users can connect or you access internet through a single line. Then provides higher speed connectivity up to, here it is 54, but in WiMAX it is 70 Mbps. Then third one, line of sight between communication is not required. In Wi-Fi also a line of sight is not required. Then weather condition like rain, storm, etc. could interrupt the signal. Okay, it's a normal case. Weather condition will interrupt the signals, and very high power consumption and high cost for installation and option comparing to Wi-Fi. High cost for installation and also its maintenance. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of WiMAX. Okay, maximum hundreds of computers we can connect. So these are the devices that uses radio waves. Then one more is present, that is known as satellite link. Satellite link. Satellite link also uses radio waves for transferring data, but there is some important aspects in satellite. In satellite there will be two stations, okay, base station and also ground station. So this will be the satellite. Okay, satellite station distance will be very high. Then satellite station and also here one transmitting station, then here receiving station. Transmitting station and receiving station, and this one is the satellite link. So using transmitting station we can transfer data to satellite. Okay, so this is known as uplink frequency. Okay, we can transfer data from transmitting station to satellite. When we are transmitting any of the data from ground station to the satellite, then you want to use more frequency level. So here, if for uplink frequency we are using 6 gigahertz, then for downlink station means this is uplink. When through satellite we can transfer data to the receiving station, any of the receiving station. That is known as downlink frequency. We can transfer data to the receiving station. Downlink frequency. If uplink frequency is 6 gigahertz, then downlink frequency will be 4 gigahertz, because uplink frequency is more than downlink frequency. Transmission of signals from Earth to a satellite. Transmission of signals from Earth to satellite is known as uplink. Then transmission of signal from satellite to Earth is known as downlink frequency. There are multiple microwave frequency bands which are used for satellite link. Then satellite system is very expensive, that you already know, but its coverage area is very large. Okay, there is no limit on the coverage area. Its coverage area is very big. Then satellite coverage area is very big. That is one of the advantage of satellite. Then the system is very expensive. Okay, it's very expensive. Then it also requires legal permission for establishing satellite. So the maintenance and also establishing cost is very high. So these are the different communication technologies that uses radio waves. The radio waves technologies are Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, then satellite link. Okay, so these are the different aspects that we are using in unguided medium. Okay, hope you understood the different unguided media. So again, we will revise the topics that we studied in this video. We started with unguided medium. Then the first unguided medium was radio wave, and after that microwave, then infrared waves. Infrared waves is used for short-term communication, and the wireless communication devices that using radio waves are Wi-Fi, WiMAX, Bluetooth, and also satellite link. So these are the different terms that we are using in wireless transmission or unguided medium. Okay, then you want to write one question in your notebook. So here the two questions are already given. The two questions answer you want to write in your notebook. So it's very important term, unguided medium. So as an essay question you can expect this for your examination. Okay, so hope you understood the different aspects of unguided medium. Okay, clear? Unguided medium is also known as wireless. For your examination, any kind of question will come, explain guided medium or explain wireless data communication. So two names you want to remember. The remaining section regarding to the computer network we will discuss in the next video. Okay, then thank you.